Good day, everyone. If you're here for the breaking news, you've come to the right place. Tough Mudder made a major announcement today. They are no longer giving out prize money for any of their series. Toughest Mudder, Tougher Mudder, World's Toughest Mudder. I don't want to say much more about it. Let's just get to it. Everybody's going to want to know my feelings on this, and I think we kind of got to it in the call. And to be honest, I'm still kind of, what's the word? Figuring it out. So I don't think it's all bad. I don't think it's all good. I'm still sitting with it, as you all are, as you hear this. So I'll probably come back on Chase and Chase on Thursday. Josh and I will talk about it in depth. But for now, let's get to the news. Away we go. There's not going to be an outro either. So it's just bing, bang, boom. And then we'll see you Thursday with some more stuff. We're live. Well, we're not live. You're listening to this not quite live. But I'm here with Eli. He's wearing all blue. Don't know what that's about. He's drinking from a mug of some kind. Is that a coffee you're drinking at 2 p.m. Pacific time?
It is a coffee. Coffee's good all times of day, Matt. And the blue is, don't read anything into the blue. It has absolutely no agenda with the blue here. Just happenstance.
I just like to give people like visuals. They enjoy the podcast audio experience. So we're telling them a story. So yes. I won't say what you said to me prior to turning this on, other than it's a pretty big tease, and I'm very excited. And by the time they hear this, this will have already been announced somewhere, but now we're going to find out what it is. Just go ahead.
Yeah. So just wanted to talk to you today about some announcements that are going out tomorrow. There's been a lot shooting around about Tough Mudder and what's happening for next year. And, it's best often, I find, to nip these things in the bud and just go ahead and get them out. So there's some announcements going out tomorrow about the overall, Tough Mudder race series. That includes Toughest Mudder, Tougher Mudder, World's Toughest, Tough Mudder X. That's kind of all the brands that fit into the race series bubble. And so the big message that's going out tomorrow is, that we are tough 2018 was a tough year for us. If you haven't heard, we had a round of securing some investing in the company, and that has successfully gone through. So that's really exciting. Some of the big news that's going to be going out is related to those brands. So one of the big ones is that there's not going to be prize money for those competitive series events. So Tougher Mudder, Toughest Mudder, and World's Toughest they're going to be, what we're trying to do is refocus those on the community. So it's a big change, but I think, the core message there is, we probably last year and in the last few years with, going into TV and, launching all these new brands, we bit off a lot. And we definitely, overextended ourselves in some areas. And what we're trying to do this year is get back to the core of what we do really well, which is put on large scale mass participation, world-class events that people leave feeling like they got their money's worth, and they want to come back, they want to tell their friends about. So we're trying to focus on those things. And, this is a big part of that. So this year we're kind of reinvesting a lot of our time, energy, resources into making those events more customer focused on, the 99.9% of people that are there to challenge themselves personally rather than, going for that top podium spot. That doesn't mean that those top podium spots that we're not still going to be recognizing that these aren't still, competitive events. But we're going to be looking to add some things to the events that cater more to, your every person that's out there going for their own personal goals and stuff. So some of the things that we're bringing this year are, more kind of like awards, prizes and stuff for everyone running. So one of those, for example, is going to be across those series. So Tougher Mudder, Toughest Mudder, World's Toughest Mudder, all participants getting medals after the event in addition to the things they already get, like event bibs, T-shirts, headbands, and all that. Getting a medal for those events that actually you can kind of piece together throughout your year and get put together like an overall picture of your year with the medals that you've achieved in those.
Like physically, they're going to fit together, or just as a concept?
They're going to be like in a shape that you can kind of piece them together in a way that you want.
So just to clarify, regular 5K headband, toughest, tougher, WTM medals, plus bibs and T-shirts and headbands.
No 5K and no Tough Mudder. So those are still, headband, T-shirt. The medals is going to apply to the race series events. So that's Tougher Mudder, Toughest Mudder, World's Toughest Mudder.
I can tell you, people will now sign up for Tougher just for the medal. I guarantee it. People, Nolan and I touched on this a little bit because we were joking about how Will Dean is so proud of saying that, Matt, everybody hated those colored headbands, but I, really pushed them through. And I like a good excuse for me to do my bad Will Dean impression.
Yeah, no, that was awful.
What? But, can you do a better one?
I'm not going to try here, but yeah.
Anyhow, all right. So let's slow down because you said a lot. Okay, you said a lot there. Making sure I'm still recording because that was a lot. So, first of all, people will freak out and lose their minds as they do. But hang on, just stay with me. Stay with me.
Yeah.
Change freaks everybody out. Some things people adjust and get over. Some things they don't. But people will freak out. So let's just know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess if you said, Matt, we're getting rid of all prize money except for World's Toughest, and even that, we're going to trim it down to just like the top three. Like, remember once upon a time, I think it was like only the winner got money. And then before you added teams and all that, just the top three. I think that part makes it the most surprising. If you had said, okay, we're getting rid of all the other stuff, like Toughest doesn't have money, but WTM, it's our signature thing, and top men and women are going to get X amount of money. That's the part I think that's the most surprising of what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in line with kind of this change across the board. And on one hand, what we're trying to do is make it add some things to the event that are more appealing and give everyone that sense of accomplishment. And it's not to say that there won't be perks and some things that are brought in to entice people to be going for those top spots. We certainly have a long way to go before World's Toughest Mudder, but as of right now, yeah, it's definitely a big change. I don't think it affects, like I said, the majority of people running the event who are just out there to survive and get through it, hopefully with hitting a mileage goal that they set. But it's I think overall it's going to be a positive change for the community, and they'll see that the things we're able to do with kind of that refocus are going to benefit everyone in the end.
And then you mentioned everything except for TMX. So what's up with TMX?
Yeah, so Tough Mudder X, I love that event. It's fantastic. We started that in conjunction with CBS in 2017, and have had 2 championship events. And that was really a made-for-TV event from the start. The desire there to create a new sport, with that TV audience in mind. And as of right now, that event is with the CBS. We no longer have the CBS deal in play for 2019. So as of right now, Tough Mudder X is not scheduled for this year. We are hoping to bring along a new media partner, and we're in talks with some right now to see if we can continue to keep that going. It's something that we have created out of nowhere, and I think that it has legs. We are just not going to be doing it unless we have a partner on board who can help us elevate it and bring it to the masses. Because really, as of right now, that's kind of the appeal of that event, is being able to do it in a way that we can showcase it and let everyone know what we're doing. So that one right now, we do not have scheduled. It's not on the table. it's on the table. We just do not have it scheduled at the moment, and it'll have to be we'll see if we can get it off the ground with a partner in the coming year.
When is this? So when am I allowed to release this conversation, I guess?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I would be remiss if I didn't say a couple of years ago, I was on the phone with Nolan, and I was like, hey, how'd you guys go from one thing to like 10, right? With this 10-mile race, 10-mile event, and this is what we do. We got this one competitive thing we do at the end of the year, and then boom, series, money, competitive, massive swing. And now we feel like the pendulum is now swung back. So I think it's emotional. I think people are going to react strongly. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it as we speak. And I'm not saying it's all bad news either, because we don't know yet. But it definitely feels massive. Just like going from one event to 6 felt massive in like a 12, 18-month period.
Yeah, but so I think the core message here is none of these, besides TMX at the moment in terms of scheduling, none of these brands are going anywhere. I think we've created strong brands that people have gotten behind. The Tough Mudder brand itself is one that, there's still thousands of people every weekend that will be doing it. Tougher Mudder still will be around. Toughest Mudder is, that one gained huge momentum right off the bat. And, we still see people crazy enough to want to come out and do now 12 hours overnight, in the hundreds and thousands. So they're not going anywhere. World's Toughest is not going anywhere. And I think this definitely changes the consideration for, some of the top level athletes. And that's certainly, we know that it's a lot of these guys are out there and it's their livelihood. They're racing for money, and this definitely affects them more than anyone. But I think what people are going to find next year is that it's going to be very apparent that we are putting a lot more time and effort than we did, or not more, but we are putting much more focus and resource behind the core events. And I think that'll be noticeable. It'll be a palpable thing at the event. There's a lot more time and energy going into Mudder Village experience, the spectator experience, obstacles, course design, and this is going to allow us to give a better experience to most people out there that are doing this. I don't think most people that sign up for Toughest Mudder have a chance or think that they have a chance of winning. It's more about getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, I'm obviously I'm thinking as you're talking to me, because it's impossible to not. And those of us that want to do Toughest, and same with World's Toughest, right? It's like it's about that once a year test, or now let me try to do one of these. And yeah, there's people that do them all, but whatever. But will those individual people, will Ryan Atkins care anymore? Well, I've won 6, and do I need to retain my title, right? But I think a lot of those other guys, the podium guys, Trevor, Chris, and on the women's side, will still come back because they love the event, right? They're not it's not like they can even, it's not even like they're counting on the money. Oh, Ryan's got this weekend because he needs to earn 10K that weekend. I think, it's people ask me all the time, where's the sport going? What does this mean? What does this mean? And, listen, dude, me, I don't know any way but to say what's on my mind. So at one point it was you guys were never going to touch competition, right? And you were this camaraderie event, and Spartan was the money compete event. And somewhere in the last couple of years, you guys kind of messaging was a little bit kind of going this way, right? Spartan was well, we're going to scare people away if we don't say we're trying to tear people off the couch. And you guys wanted to get into the compete game. And who's right, who's wrong, we're not going to know, right? That's what I always say too, is if I knew, I would have a lot more money, right? And people ask me to make an opinion, and I'm always embarrassed that I can't definitively say, but I'd rather just be real and say, let's watch and see. So 99% of the people that show up on Saturday morning in that line could give a shit about money, and I agree. But as an industry thing, Does there need to be more than one company that gives a crap about competition and money? I don't know. I mean, this is like, I'm just talking out loud here, dude. Just trying to wrap my brain around it.
I'm with you. And in all reality, this is, we're all talking about a sport and an event type that has only been around for less than 10 years now. So it's something that, and, things do change every year. That's always been the one constant, has been change. And as we work through every year to try to figure out what is best and how best to position this. And, I think this is going to be just another year of learning like what that is. And like you said before, I think it's a really salient point on, a Trevor Sykos, a Chris Mendoza, those guys, I think what got them into the sport is the physical, very intimate personal challenge of, can I do this crazy thing? And I think that resonates. That's the first thing that resonates with people. I don't think most are looking at it and saying, oh, I want to win $10,000. How can I do that? When they find an event that does it, they say they're coming to this event, these types of events, because it offers something that you just don't get elsewhere. And that is not changing. If anything, it's going to be, accelerated this year. But, this is just a decision that has to be made for other reasons. But the overall aspect of what we're trying to do here as a company and for people is not changing. So, it's going to be an interesting year. I hope we don't lose too many of those guys. Like I want them all to come to the events, and we want to make it something that still offers them something that's, worthwhile for them to come to. But I think overall, this is going to be something really good for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one point I was trying to say there too is that it seems like there's always been these two things somewhat attempting to coexist, right? Fun, camaraderie, challenge, off the couch, out of the office, versus the reason people like to compete, right? And that, by the way, Spartan has that too, right? Even people that sign up for the open wave will look at their time to see how they did against other people. It's natural, right? If they spend 7 hours at a beast, right? They laugh at their friends. They fail half the obstacles at the end. They see look, I'm 680th out of 1,000th, right? So that's been the question about this sport. I just did air quotes from the beginning. And again, that's what I try to tell people all the time. We're still so new. We're not even 30 years in, like, say, I don't know, ultra running or triathlon,
ultra running, Ironman,
or 300 years like baseball, right? So
I don't think baseball's 300 years old, but it's all right.
Is our country 300 years old?
I don't think the Pilgrims were playing baseball.
How old is our country?
1776.
Have you seen baseball invented?
Sidebar, Googling.
1839.
Yeah. You weren't too far off.
180 years of baseball. Well, it's funny because I remember when I was a kid, it was like 100 years of baseball. Now it's 180 years of baseball. It's Super Bowl 53, but football is about like another 10 or 20 years older than that.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on the big game Sunday?
I'm rooting for underdogs. I like all the young quarterbacks. I was really behind. I don't want to like alienate any of the audience here, but I really liked. I was hoping for a Mahomes Goff, just because that'd be pretty badass. But now you got the old dog against the young buck. I think that's cool too. I have no dog in this fight, but I think it's going to be. I'm watching it for like the first time in a long time.
Well, I know the audience can't see you, so I'm going to say that you have your beard, I would say, is McVay-esque.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's absurd to me that he's a year younger than I am, but
don't even get me started on that. Head coaches are now younger than me in the NFL. That's wacky.
Yeah.
So let's back up, refocus. Was there anything else we wanted to talk? I can't remember if there was anything else. People say. So I'm going to set this up to like go out first thing in the morning. I didn't know the news was this big. People say they have big news all the time, by the way. People like to, I got a scoop for you, and it's never a scoop. This is a real scoop. So I'm going to set this to go at 8:02 along with whatever they send me.
Those are the key points. I think, the first being like, it is a big shift with not having prize money, that is just a big thing that we wanted to make sure that everyone that was out there and people knew, and I'm sure it'll make a big splash. It certainly affects people's race schedules and decisions for the year. But the kind of overarching message there is that it is all part of a grander plan to, bring back kind of like the Tough Mudder of old. So people can really get excited again about the weekend event and about the Tough Mudder core event, like the obstacles, the course design, the, overall like solid running of the event, and smooth operating of big events is what we want to do. That's what we've been able to do in the past, and that's what we're going to continue to push.
How soon can you send me a medal that I can like make a video for and show people and all that fun stuff?
I'll get back to you on that. They're currently in production, so those will be, like I said, there will be Tougher Mudder medals, Toughest Mudder, and then new World's Toughest medals as well. With that, there's a bunch of other things as well out there. I think that'll be going out some info going out tomorrow, but things like 5 mile increment mileage patches for Toughest Mudder. So a lot of people who they'll run 40 miles at toughest, and what you can pick up is like a 25-mile patch to show that you got 25 miles. But this year we'll be doing increment patches, so you actually will get, if you can run 45 miles in that 12 hours, you'll get a 45-mile patch. Then there will be some other things as well in the announcement tomorrow. But I think I could probably send you a medal. I don't know, a couple weeks. It's called a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you let me take you to Waffle House this year? Last year you did not. You what's the word? Dismissed my advances.
Yeah, I had some concerns based on a past bad experience.
I know.
I'm willing to give it another shot.
Right. You don't want, it's like somebody goes to a Tough Mudder on a rainy day and they say it's cold and hard and, whatever. You don't want to, come on, man, give it a shot.
Yeah. No, we'll set up a date.